Hey, hey, that's Garner over there doing a interview.
Where's the camera going to be? Is it this way or the other way?
Oh, it
No, they're right there in front of that car.
Go over there and photobomb.
Okay, just give me first name, last name, spell it out, followed by your official title, and have you look at me right here. Go ahead.
Matthew Garner. I'm the Executive Director of the Range.
Okay, let's spell it Matthew Garner. Go ahead.
Matthew, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, Garner. I'm the Executive Director of the Range.
Okay, Matthew, go ahead and talk to me since the range has launched since 2023. Talk to me about what has been beneficial to Amarillo and the Texas Panhandle.
So we have a number of programs that are working well. We've helped build out millions of dollars of broadband. We're launching the workforce development program. We're working on an economic assessment of water. We're measuring how we can reduce emissions from cattle, and then we're working on projects like improving maternal and child care, morbidity, mortality in the Texas Panhandle. So, we're working with over 20 individuals in our consortium to make positive strides in research and true economic impact in the Texas Panhandle.
Do you feel that you guys could have more of an impact if, this back and forth rhetoric and what's been going on would cease, and you guys would just be able to focus on the task at hand and do what you set out to do?
Well, I think anytime something negative is said, it's distracting. We've had a number of members who are waiting until this kind of dies down to renew their memberships. So we've lost a little bit of funding there, and we have volunteers that kind of want to stay out of the political limelight. It is distracting from the mission of improving the Panhandle.
Talk to me about going forward, and I guess maybe after the election, regardless of what happens. Talk to me then about what is your guys' plan and mission going forward.
So the range is going to continue to do business as always. We have a sustainable membership to go with our mission. Not having the EDC as a partner takes us out of the running for several billions of dollars in funding, so that makes it more difficult. But we've been re-asked to apply for a $168 million grant, and so we're going to have to find another economic development partner. I would say that the mission is alive and well, and we're well on our way for doing a lot of the projects that already have funding, and we're going to continue to pursue funding for those.
Do you want to get partnered back up with the ADC? Do you feel it'll be beneficial, or is it best to just say, okay, let's avoid them and do it other ways?
So there's actually a requirement for a lot of federal funding to be partnered with an economic development corporation. And so without having that partner, this area is potentially losing out on billions of dollars.
Okay, anything else? Well, I got you here if you want to add.
No.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Hey, Matt.
Were you able to do your stand-up?
Hey, Matt. Will you tell us when the $750,000 was approved?
I don't know. I don't work for the ADC.
You don't work for the
ADC. They approved that.
Didn't it need to be approved through council? The city council? Because it came from the city council.
Has all the information on that.
Okay.
Right.
But,
so I'm not on the ADC board.
I understand that.
So I don't know how that works. I do know that we got the transfer of money. I do know that the auditors found that was a legal transfer of funds at the time.
So
the fact that you're disputing
it was questionable.
No, they said it was legal. So if you want to twist the words that it's legal, then you haven't read the document. So if you want to say untruths, that's your purview. But it said it was a legal transfer of funds.
Okay. No, I was just asking you about that because that's the main thing going on in the atmosphere is about the approval, because
And
the
it was
city
found that it was a
council.
legal transfer of funds. So what's the dispute about that?
Okay.
It was been audited twice, and it's found that it was a legal transfer of funds.
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to ask.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey Matt, my Craig Galt here.
Hey, Kurt.
My attorney sent you guys a letter about 7 months ago asking for your tax returns that they're supposed to be allowed by law, and y'all still haven't provided my attorney with those. Elin Walton.
We sent him a 990.
Tell me you didn't get anything from you.
Okay, we'll resend it.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I mean, is that all we get with financials? Is a 990? Can we not have?
That's what's required.
So you'll only do what's required. You won't do anything above
We're
that
gonna do what
to
our attorneys
be transparent,
we're gonna
build
do
trust.
What our attorneys, if you want to make headlines, that's fine. But we're going to do what our attorneys tell us. You know, Trump's going to follow what his attorneys tell him too, right? So we're just doing what's legally required.
Is your attorney the Underwood Law Firm that's also the attorney for the AEDC? Is that not a conflict of interest?
They run conflict of interest, right?
Did y'all sign a letter with the Underwood Law Firm that you had no problem with the conflict of interest of the firm representing both entities?
I don't know.
I don't know if you're the executive director, so you don't know if you've signed that or not.
We've signed lots of forms.
You know, one thing that she brought up is that Alex hasn't sat down with her. At that CP4T meeting, Alex said, set up a meeting with Ms. Street and yourself, and you said you would do that. Did that not
What's
happen?
his email? I don't have his email.
Oh my God.
Send it to me.
Hey Matt, you said in
don't know a phone number?
that meeting the other night with that presentation that Alex made, you said that you would be willing to give that seat back to the AEDC. Have you met with Mr. Herrick and Mrs. Street on that matter? Or are y'all going to return that seat that's been vacated by?
No one from the ADC has named who that they're going to put on their permanent board to that seat.
Oh, so I mean they've been notified that is their seat?
They know.
Oh, they do. I thought it was just the board of directors was president is Mr. Herrick, vice president is Mrs. Street, and then Mr. Carter is the secretary. I didn't know those were identified by certain, like the secretary is automatically the.
It's not automatically, right? So the board would have to be voted on, just like all nonprofit boards, right? But as a legacy member, they're entitled to naming somebody to be voted on to be on the board.
So why is Mr. Carter no longer on that board?
Is Mr. Carter employed by the ADC?
No, sir.
Okay, then that's why he wouldn't be on the board.
He was
I
off
mean-
the board before his termination or his employment at the AEDC was terminated.
Who said that?
Mr.
Was he
Carter
not?
said that.
Yeah.
Mr.
Do you
Carter-
have him on record saying
He
that?
said that he didn't know why he was no longer on the board. He said that on the radio.
When was that?
I don't know the exact date, Mr. Garner.
So
we
I
can
don't know
find
the
it.
exact date of that either, right? I don't know what Mr. Carter said.
But this is
And
your
but
organization.
listen, I'm not going to get in a verbal confrontation
This
with
is
what
not a
with what Mr. Carter said on dates that nobody has the dates
he
of.
was on your board of directors, Mr. Garner, and you don't know when he was on or off? I mean, this is your organization. This is the one that you helped create with Mrs.
I don't know when he
Street.
was fired from the ADC. When he was fired
So
from
when he's
the
fired,
ADC,
he automatically is taken off the board? Is that how that works?
how would he have a yes?
Okay.
Could not have a board position if he does not represent an organization, right? So he would no longer be a board member if he was no longer employed from the ADC.
I guess this is where the frustration lies, and I don't mean to be confrontational, but you know, we're getting a different story from the city council, we're getting a different story from the AEDC, and we're getting a completely different story from the range of like who's board members, who's not, who gets appointed, you know, legacy memberships and so forth. So these questions that we ask you are just natural questions. We are, as taxpayers, legacy members of your organization. We would just like to know how we get represented on your board. And you don't. And Mr. Herrick said the other night, and Mrs. Street just now said, along with you, just saying the three primary people here don't know if, when Mr. Carter and why Mr. Carter was taken off the board.
I think the thing that's happening is that nobody wants to conflict something that Kevin said, which no one has heard, right? So if you say, Kevin said he was removed at this particular time, you could say, oh yeah, I would agree with that, or I don't. But you're throwing out a number, which I don't know what number you're throwing out. I did state that he was removed from the board when he was no longer employed from the ADC, right? So I don't know when a television or radio interview happened that I haven't heard, right? And you didn't throw out a date. And I'm not saying that you're not throwing one out intentionally, because dates are hard to remember, but I'm saying it's like, I don't know.
But you're saying that as far as you know, as in the chronological events, when Mr. Carter was dismissed by the AEDC board, somewhere in that calendar area, he was taken off the board.
Absolutely not on the board after he's not employed by the AEDC.
Have y'all notified Mr. Nelson, who is now the interim president of AEDC, that is now their duty to appoint a new member to your board? Have you notified Mr. Nelson that spot is open for them, being a legacy member, that now they are entitled to that position?
We can do that. Kevin said that he was going to talk to Doug, but I can call Doug. Because
the way I listened to the speech that Mr. Fairley gave, he made it sound like he was oblivious to that they even had a spot on the range board, and you got up there and rightfully you said, Mr. Fairley, you're entitled to that position.
Right.
We'll give you that position back. So
the ADC is entitled to a board seat. That's not under dispute, right?
But it hadn't been filled yet.
It hasn't been filled yet, and I think the reasons why could be hearsay, and we don't want to get into that, right? So it's like, I'll call Doug and say appoint a member, right? And that member would have to be accepted, just like on all nonprofits, right? Emerald Isle Foundation puts up people from different organizations and they vote on it, right?
They didn't give you that much money though.
So the AEDC could appoint their representative to your board, but then your board would actually have to approve that membership?
There should absolutely be someone on the AEDC board representing on the range, right?
But the city, so if the AEDC appointed a member to your board would now
all board members have to be approved. All right.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Oh, sure you do.
I'm sure you do.
Stop talking.
Stevie
Yeah,
boy.
stop talking. Stop
Stevie
talking.
boy.
Come on, puppet.
Puppet.
Once we started making some headway in figuring all of this out, Steve Parr came out and felt that he had to save Matt Garner from us.